Hello and welcome everyone to this video on Introduction to SAP ABAP by ZaranTech. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our ZaranTech YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update from us.
So hello everyone, in this video we are going to start with our SAP ABAP. So this will be a simple introduction on SAP ABAP. So before directly going to ABAP, I would like to give a brief introduction on ERP and SAP. So what is an ERP? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and the purpose of ERP software is to manage the entire organization. Now suppose we have an organization, and what we will be doing here, where we will be producing some products, and for that purpose we will require some raw materials, and then we will be using selling the product. So this whole thing is basically managed by an ERP. And what is an SAP? So SAP is mainly the biggest ERP software currently in the market, and SAP stands for System Application and Products in Real-Time Data Processing. So that's why we see a lot of customers for SAP in the market. What is the history of SAP? SAP was mainly introduced in 1972 at Waldorf by SAP AG, and it is a German-based product. So these are some of the features of SAP. It is an integral of all functions into one common software. It is a multilingual software that it supports multiple languages, and it is available in nearly 40 languages across the world. Also, it is a user-based license agreement that it requires user and password to access the features. Let me show to you. I will simply go to my server. So if I'll just click, if I want to access here, I will have to provide my credential. I will provide my credential, then I can use it. This is my SAP Easy Access screen. Also, SAP is a currently R3 architecture where we have a presentation layer. This is mainly the presentation layer. Then we have an application layer where we write the programs and applications. I simply go to SE38, where we mainly create our ABAP program. So this will be our application layer. What we will do here, we will be writing our programs and we will be performing the code operation directly with the database. Then we have a SAP NetWeaver. So SAP NetWeaver is an integrated technology platform which can support various SAP applications, and we have various SAP applications like ERP, CRM, ERM, SRM, PI. So now we are going to start with our ABAP. So see, what is ABAP, or what is the meaning of ABAP/4C? So ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming Language. This is mainly an application programming language with advanced features. And it is the 4th generation language in which every screen on SAP has been written. So whatever you are seeing here in the screen, in any screen, suppose if I go to MM01 where we create a material, so whatever you are seeing here in backend, there is a program which is working. Just click on system status, there you will see the program, and this is the particular program which has been written in. So for every screen on SAP, there must be a program which is written in ABAP language. And where the ABAP lies? So ABAP lies on application layer of SAP R3 architecture. This is our SAP ABAP architecture. Let me show to you. First we have a dispatcher, then we have a work process here, then we have a user context, and at last we have a role area, which is basically an extended memory. So what is the use of dispatcher? So all requests that come in from presentation server are directed first to dispatcher. So whatever the request user will be given from presentation server, it will be directed to dispatcher. And the dispatcher writes them first to the dispatcher queue. What the dispatcher does? It writes them first to the dispatcher queue. Then the dispatcher pulls the request from the queue on a first in, first out basis. What dispatcher does? directly pulls the request from the queue on a first in, first out basis. Now, what is the work process? So, each request from the dispatcher is then allocated to the first available work process. And what work process does? It handles one request at a time. A work process needs to address two special memory areas, the user context and the program role area. Then we have user context. And what is user context? User context is a memory area that contains information about the user. So, user context is a memory area which contains the information about the user. So, when a user logs on, a user context is allocated for that log on. When you log in SAP, a user context will be created for your log on. And when a user log off, it is freed. Then we have a role area. Role area is also an extended memory that contains information about the program execution. So whatever the program has been executed, it will be stored in an extended memory which is known as role area. And when a program runs, a role area is allocated for that program. The role area is freed when the program ends. Then we have SAP system landscape. And what it is and why it is used for, I'm going to explain its landscape of the SAP. So we have what we do in SAP. First we do development. So it is mainly dedicated for development. Then we have quality and then testing. So whatever the program will develop here, then it will be sent to the quality where the testing will be done. Then the production, it is used by the customer directly. So this is the landscape of our SAP system, which goes from development to quality to production. And we have a important concept which is highly useful, which is the main basic concept, which is what? It is a transport request, which is a mechanism to transport the object from one system to another system. That is from development to quality and quality to production. Now we have our SAP GUI. So this is my SAP GUI screen. And whenever you will log in on your SAP Easy Access screen is directly opened. And what is GUI here? GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. It allows end users to use various SAP applications by providing easy to use graphical interface. And basically we have three kinds of SAP GUI here. You will see it in ABAP programming later on. So we have GUI for Windows, GUI for Java, and GUI for HTML for different kinds of requirement. And these are mainly the configuration, and these things are basically done by your basis team. So I don't want to explain here. I'm going to explain some of the GUI parts. So the first one is like menu bar. Just go to your SAP EGX screen. This is basically the menu bar here. Then we have our standard toolbar. So the second screen is nothing but my standard toolbar. Then we have my third screen, command bar. This is my mainly command bar. Just see here in your screen. This is my command bar. And then we have a title bar. This is title bar. Then we have an application toolbar. See here. This is my title bar. Then we have an application toolbar. Then screen area and status bar. In screen area, you will see all your required things. And then we have last status bar. So these are the various features which we will see later on when we will be implementing your program. So in ABAP, some important transaction code that you need to understand. The first and the most important transaction code is SE38. SE38. This is your ABAP editor, and all your program will be written here. This is mainly the initial screen where you will write all your program. So for user specific, we always we always start our program with naming convention either Z or Y. So if you are creating any program, you must be giving a name to it, and your name will always start with either Z or Y. So suppose I want to write a program. So what I can do? I will start with Z and any naming convention program. Start. I'll click on create button. Then we are required to provide a title bar here. So basic program. Then in type, select executable program, double click on, just click on local object here. This is the screen where we create our any program. Suppose in any programming, what you do? Firstly, you write hello world. So in SAP, we use write statement to display anything. This is after write statement, you will use the colon sign, and in single quotes, you will write whatever you want to display on the output screen. Suppose hello world, and then at last full stop. Click on activate and click on execute button. We can see my output hello world. So this is all about my introduction to SAP ABAP. So thank you very much.